A win is a win, but also, what the fuck? We discuss that on the DNVR Broncos post-game show from London right now. DNVR Broncos post-game show presented by Bet365, coming to you from London, England, after a scintillating, jaw-dropping, thrilling, exciting, incredible victory from the Denver Broncos.
There are about 50,000 people in that stadium.
60.
I'll say 10,000 people will watch another NFL game. 50,000 of them never watching this sport ever again.
Yeah, count me. I'm in with the 50,000.
Yeah, me too.
There were some that didn't really actually know. We were talking about it, before we got on, that they thought it was thrilling because they actually didn't know what was actually going on during the game.
The people sitting next to me in the game, I actually enjoyed this, but a different person probably would have been so annoyed. I would just explain to them the entire game. And I don't think they understood that. We didn't gain any traction by the end. They're like, I don't think they were getting it. But
what was the toughest moment in trying to explain the game to them?
Honestly, I felt like the toughest moment was trying to explain illegal man downfield. An incredibly complex rule if you think about it. And then I started thinking about how soccer has so few rules, and football has a million rules.
Yeah.
It's just rules on rules on rules on rules. I'm like, oh God. Trying to explain to them, offsetting penalties. It was
safety penalty. Holding and the pass interference.
Yeah, it was quite the journey. And this was a real display of flags and what they all mean. It was a real display of really, really bad football. Justin Fields and the Jets set offense back at least 100 years. Wow. Really, really bringing our best stuff out here to London. Benny, what was your biggest takeaway?
Man, I don't. Positive or negative? What are we?
Biggest.
Biggest takeaway from this game, I would say, is the playing the Joker card now. If I have to really, I'm always a glass half full type of guy.
Yeah.
So I would say playing the Joker card. Evan Ingram has now been ingrained into this offense for the last 5 quarters. The last quarter against the Philadelphia Eagles, and then throughout this entire game, you saw Sean find different ways to get him the ball, whether it was catching the ball over the middle. He had a couple of quick out routes to get first downs. He had the jet sweep. So it was really good to just see him get the ball. So the Joker card is now starting to be played. And I think that's something that could be really crucial for the Broncos going down this next, stretch of games over October. So that would be my biggest takeaway. That's on the positive side. Should I say something else? Because I have more.
We'll come back to you. We'll come back to you.
Yeah. My biggest takeaway is that I'm just going to do my best not to take anything away from this.
The tapes.
I think that it's tough to explain what these international games are like to people who weren't in that stadium. It's just a weird place.
It is.
It's a weird place, and it's fun, and there are a lot of really great fans out here who we've had a chance to spend some time with the last couple days. But the feeling in the stadium, again, there's energy there, but it's energy that's more like a Super Bowl or a preseason game.
A bowl game.
Right. Where it's just it's not, you've played in Super Bowls, you show up, it's not like a normal game. And obviously that it's the Super Bowl, it's a championship, but there's also just this weirdness to it that things don't play out naturally. It's like this was an exhibition game that just happens to count.
Yeah, it's they're what they would call a friendly match over here.
Right.
Where just a whole bunch of people are coming to experience the game, but everybody has on a different jersey in there. It's, you got some Broncos jerseys, you got some Jets jerseys, but then you have Lions, and Jaguars, and Browns.
Right.
And, people just want to come be a part of what American football is. So, yeah, it's definitely a weird environment.
Mm-hmm.
It was. And, I mean, I had so much hope that the Broncos would just go out there and execute cleanly and just, look good. And that went out the window immediately when Troy Franklin fumbled. I was just like, okay, yep, I've seen this one before. It's going to be one of those weird, sloppy, ugly London games. And can this team figure out a way to win? And that is my biggest takeaway. I talked about it last week when the Broncos beat the Eagles. I'm so relieved that they got the monkey off their backs when it comes to closing out a close game, because they're going to find themselves in that situation again soon. And when they get there, they'll at least have that peace of mind that we can and will do this. And Benny and I were talking about this walking away from the stadium, but it's every football game exists in a silo. What happens in one football game, even with the same team, is not really much of a predictor of what's going to happen in the next football game. And so you just have to find ways to win in the NFL. And especially in a game like this, when there's so many weird circumstances at play, if you can just dig deep at the end of a football game and find a way to make enough plays to win, then guess what? You get an 8-hour flight home where everyone's happy. And it is so different. The margin is so slim for going home happy and going home so pissed off. And trust me, I would have been right there with them going home pissed off if the Broncos had lost to 4 field goals and a safety. I don't know if I would have been inconsolable.
Would you have been able to do this pregame show or postgame show?
I've never not been able to do one, so I think I would have been fine. But my God, it would have been bad. It would have been ugly. And again, that the difference is so slim. The Broncos got over that hump last week, and now they showed they can do it again. And thank God for the defense, because they came up so big, time and time again, honestly, throughout this game, but especially at the end of the game there, given their toughest task of the game. They had to stop the Jets from getting 2 first downs, or else they would have, been in easy field goal range to win the game, and they pushed them backwards. So it was a hell of a finish by them, and I'm proud of this team, despite the fact that was so ugly, for just being able to clutch up at the very end.
I think you bring up a really good point. They're probably on the flight back to Denver right now, and it's easier. It's definitely easier as a player, even though the win is ugly, to watch that film after a win. The offense is going to be, really pissed off. Sean's going to be mad at his play calling, the rhythm, and of course the receivers and offensive line are going to be upset with their performance. But you can watch this film knowing that you're now 4-2, going back home after a long road trip, 10 days on the road or 10 or more days on the road, flying over to London and getting out an ugly win. So, yes, they're going to have to watch this film. They're going to have to correct a lot of things, but you definitely want to correct these things after being 4-2
Yes.
instead of being 3-3. That, being 3-3 and watching this on that flight home would definitely not, be a great film to watch. But the defense is going to enjoy watching their film, and they made Justin Fields. I mean, I'm wondering about Justin Fields' career based off of what they did to him today.
Yeah, I mean, they might just tell him you're walking home. We're sorry, that's it. We've had enough. You don't deserve a flight. He was awful.
He was awful.
And you have to give the Broncos credit for a bunch of that. They had 9 sacks today. As soon as they started
Broncos
hitting him,
had as many sacks as Justin Fields had completions.
Right. Ridiculous. And when you factor in the sack yardage, the Jets finished the game with -10 passing yards. That's the thing that doesn't happen in the NFL.
Yeah, that's embarrassing.
It is. And
that's
I think
really embarrassing.
Justin Fields was awful, but you have to give the Broncos defense credit because they sped him up. Pat Surtain was locking everybody down. Riley Moss had an incredible game once again.
Pat Surtain is elite.
Yeah.
He was so good today.
Did they only throw it him the one time, and it was that pass breakup on third down?
He had the one where I feel like he made Garrett Wilson fumble. They didn't
Oh,
call
okay.
that.
Yep.
Then he
Okay.
had the pass breakup.
Right.
I think maybe one pass got caught on him.
Yeah. No, that guy's an animal. And so as much as this Jets offense, it's not good. There's a reason they're the only team in the NFL that hasn't won a football game yet. Broncos defense, ridiculous. 9 sacks is an incredible number.
Yes, it is. Someone said that after the game when we were standing at the pub waiting for the train lines to clear and the Uber lines to clear, and I thought they were wrong, like because it just didn't sound like that could possibly be right when he said it.
9 sacks?
Yeah, he's like 9 sacks. That's unbelievable. I was like, nah, he must have misread something, like in my head.
Yeah.
And then I just pulled out my phone and looked and scrolled down. I'm like, oh my god, they did have 9, and it's so evenly spread out because it was just one after another. I mean, Brandon Jones gets a half sack. Nick Bonitto gets 1. Justin Surtain gets 1.5. Talanoa Hufanga with 1. Jonathon Koopa with 2. Innie with 1. Zach Allen with 1. John Franklin Myers with 1. Just a crazy kind of array of pass rush from the Broncos. And by the way, perfect that Jonathon Koopa ended with the most, with 2 sacks, because before the game I did a fun little video that we'll hopefully have coming out soon where I asked people from the UK that were at the pub we were at before the game who has the most English-sounding name on the team. And maybe one of my favorite moments I've ever had from a man on the street video, a guy just looks at me and goes, well, I'm John Koopa. That's my name, so I think that's probably pretty fitting. I was like, wait, your name is Jonathon Cooper? He's like, yeah, there's a lot of us out here. Then I tweeted out, I'm like, all right, consensus is Jonathon Cooper is the most British-sounding name. Bet on him to have a sack today, and then he went and had 2.
Did you? Oh, you didn't place your bet.
You know, I didn't. But I would have at Bet365, the presenting sponsor of this show.
Yes. I wish we were home because I would have made – I may not have made a lot of money because I would have taken the Broncos to win by a touchdown. The spread, no, didn't happen.
Yeah, didn't happen. All right, Benny, you had a negative one that you wanted to hit?
Yeah, the play calling for Sean Payton today really took a step back. You know, I felt like after Cincinnati, after Philly, we had an ugly 3 quarters. But still, there were some things that were open. There were opportunities, you know. But the play calling today, after the first half, you know, pretty much was piss poor.
It was,
you know, and things weren't fitting off of each other. There was like no rhythm to the offense. There was no rhythm to how he was calling plays. You know, some of the runs, you know, he just run. It was like run, pass. It was just very vanilla. There was no Sean Payton of like what makes him so special is the way he dials things up and how he gets people open and how all these creative designs. I felt like that lacked. There was no creativity today within the offense, and it was just. I don't think he helped Bo out today. You know, I didn't see that at all.
Yeah, it didn't. And maybe the Jets defense deserves a little bit of credit because I didn't feel like I felt like they were trying to press a lot of buttons and none of them were working. They couldn't consistently run the football, and I think maybe that ended up hurting them quite a bit. Was in terms of what they expected to be able to do in their game plan. Not to single anyone out, but Matt Parrott was not very good, and I think that caused some issues for them that maybe they weren't expecting. They couldn't protect Bo. He was under a lot of pressure. And so maybe as much as I also felt like it was a little bit of a problem, the play calling, I also think it was like everything they were trying to do just wasn't working.
Absolutely. It was a mess. I think they came into the game thinking we're just going to run on them. I think we're gonna run the ball and we're going to get into the play action off of that. And when the run didn't work, and they saw the play action coming, and how many times did Bo roll out and there was just nobody open? Now there are a couple times it worked, especially when he was able to work back away from the sideline toward a crosser who hadn't quite reached as far. I think overall, though, the game plan just didn't work because it felt like the game plan was we're bigger, we're stronger, we're running the ball well, and you guys have the number 31 scoring defense in the NFL.
That's not really acceptable for us to say, though, when that the game plan didn't work, because what we love about Vance Joseph and what we loved about Vance Joseph against the Philadelphia Eagles was the ability to adjust. If you see that game plan isn't working in the first half, why have you not, Sean Payton, adjusted? This is why you are paid, the $20 million a year. This is why you're regarded as one of the smartest coaches in NFL history. Is your ability to adjust, get people open, design these plays. I just think there should have been some adjustments based off of the play calls. If things aren't working, where are the wrinkles? Okay, hey, they have clearly stopped these couple of runs or this play action, these play action passes. Now let's adjust to some of the things that was actually working with Evan Ingram, these quick outs and the man-to-man that they were playing, and obviously he was beating his guy off the line. So I thought Sean, that's where he's got to be better.
Right, and it's not that they didn't get better. It's that they got worse as the game went on.
Yeah.
They had the 1 3 and out in the first half. In the second half, though, 3 and out, 1 play safety, 3 and out, the field goal drive, and then 3 and out. They got significantly worse as the game went on. Not just never really found their rhythm, and that's the part that it's just so frustrating.
Yeah, and that final 3 and out, does that say -5 yards? Yeah, it does.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
That was a must-have drive.
That's a Justin Fields drive.
Yeah, it is. That's a must-have drive, though, because at the very least, you have to get a couple first downs so that you can pin the Jets back, and you end up going backwards. And I remember watching Jeremy Crawshaw standing with his feet on the goal line thinking oh my God, we're going to lose this game. Because the offense just went backwards 5 yards on that drive. Again, thank God for the defense for bailing him out. But those are the times where actually Sean usually shines, in my opinion. Is he's okay, we got to have one here. It's a good thing I have this play in my back pocket.
Yeah.
And it just was not there today, except for when he schemed Nate Atkins wide open for the only touchdown that anyone in this country saw today.
Those poor people.
I wonder if the guys were tired.
I am.
Yeah. Yeah, you're tired?
Yeah.
We earned that, though.
Yeah, I don't know if they went out stayed up till 6 one night, 4 another night, but I don't know. It's tiring being over here.
Yeah, I think the guys might have been tired. And we talked about this in the first little segment or to start the show, but it is a little bit of a weird environment. It's hard to I felt like it would have been hard to get up as a player for this type of game. Overseas, very different. Been over in London for a long time, so it seemed really flat. And I'm a big reader of body language, and just sitting behind the Broncos bench where I was sitting, the body language was not positive body language throughout the entire game. Evan was pacing back and forth. Guys were getting into it on the sideline. I think I saw Darren Rizzi and Trent Sherfield getting into it. Bo was trying to, get the offensive line and offense going. When you start having these little side conversations on the sideline of trying to get motivated and pepped up, that means you're clearly not focused, and you didn't come with the right energy. So I'm thinking about the energy and, if these guys were a little tired, especially on offense.
Right. And again, the energy, not just from them individually, but from the stadium is different. You're so used to playing. Different. It's 75,000 people who are living and dying on every single play versus here it's whoa. What could this be? Why aren't they playing? You just have no idea. It's just such a different energy. There's nobody to hype you up. It feels like an exhibition game. It in some ways feels similar to a Super Bowl in that the fans aren't living and dying by every play. There's the group that are. And today it's a smaller group, Super Bowl a little bit bigger than that. But there's a big group that just, look, here I am. This is cool.
Yep. For sure. You know what? Something else that's cool?
Yeah.
The Broncos debit card from Ent Credit Union. It's really cool. And I love how clever. I feel like English people are really clever. Because one of our fans, or maybe I should just say in the UK, because I don't want to accuse anyone of being from a country they're not from. But someone said to us the other night, talking about how every 15 swipes on your debit card enters you for another chance to win home game tickets. And they're like, if you had a $15 purchase, couldn't you just ask them to split it up into 15 $1 purchases so you could get 15 more swipes? I'm like, I love, first of all, that you're listening to our ads enough to even know that, especially when you live all the way over here. But second of all, you would not make a friend at the cash register for doing that. Third of all, great idea. Great idea. I think you can only do with your debit Broncos card.
Right. If I worked like a retail job, that's what I'd do. Like, oh, there's nobody in here right now. I got a minute. I'm going to buy something, and I'm going to split into 1 penny purchases, and I am getting these free tickets.
Getting these free tickets that you can get only from your debit card. It's also going to unlock 10% off food and gear on game days at Empower Field with no surprise fee. So if you're ready to bank like a Bronco, head over to ent.com/DNVR. That's ent.com/DNVR to learn more. Insured by NCUA. Membership required. Account requires associated Ent Broncos debit card.
Also, Taco Bell. We might be getting some Taco Bell later. It's a possibility.
It's on the table.
We've
had a lot of incredibly late night meals here.
We have. And so it's 9:43 here right now, which is, I mean, that's prime Taco Bell time. Like, you've entered the Taco Bell window.
The taco zone.
I wonder if they have the new Cantina chicken menu here.
Seems they're a little behind. Just based on my observations, I think they're a little behind on the new releases.
So. That's why we're all so jealous of you back in Denver, who right now can just order the new chicken cantina menu. All sorts of good stuff in there. The spices they throw in, flavorful, slow roasted chicken, and a bunch of different products like a burrito or the taco. You can also check out the $7 Buffs box, which features 4 Taco Bell classics and a large drink and a CU player cup. Taco Bell is a proud sponsor of CU Athletics. Donates $1,000 to the Golden Buffalo Scholarship Foundation for every CU touchdown scored. So get yours today. Buffs love the bell.
And we love the bell. Okay, so I want to do a helmet sticker segment here to talk about who actually played well. I have a feeling it will be heavily defensively focused. But first, I have to give a helmet sticker to the community of Broncos fans that we have over here in the UK. No matter what situation we're in, we ran into like a lot of technical difficulties and scheduling difficulties and a lot of stuff like that over here, and stuff that would maybe make someone be like, next time the Broncos are over here, I don't know if I'm coming back. I will come back no matter what, because the people that we get to meet over here that listen to our show and support us from all the way across the pond is one of the most fulfilling things that I've ever felt while doing this job. And we felt it the last time we were here, and we felt it even more this time, and it's just the absolute best. So to everyone who came up to us with every accent under the sun to tell us that they watched the show, you guys have no idea how much that means to me.
Yeah, that was incredible. The love that we got, it was just cool to see, talking to people about the show and the Broncos and what made them become Broncos fans. I really appreciated it, and I really felt the love. So I second that in the helmet sticker for sure. Yeah, it was just it was awesome to see. So shout out to you guys for all the support and you watching these guys since they started the show, and the love that you gave me over here. It was awesome.
There was a lot of love. The thing about it is so constant too. I know. Like which you love because it's so cool to meet all these different people. But it's 5 steps. And it's like, oh no way, you're like my new friend Neil last night, who we were doing some of those Jaeger bombs. That's for sure. That's the Scottish lorry driver, and a lorry is a
cab.
Oh.
That wasn't on the slideshow, right?
No, it wasn't on the slideshow. Truck driver.
Oh, okay.
So you get to learn things too. I think that's right. But yeah, it was so cool getting to meet all of these people. Don't quote me on that.
Yeah, unbelievable. So thank you guys. Yes.
People did not recognize you until he talked.
It makes sense.
Right, because he's over there and we're on camera.
All right, let's start with helmet stickers here. Beyond the epic UK and Europe Broncos fans. Benny, I'll give you the first one.
My first helmet sticker is going to go, obviously, to a receiver, and it's going to be Pat Bryant.
Ooh.
Pat Bryant, 2 catches for 22 yards.
Right.
Obviously, it's not, the offense wasn't very explosive today, but Pat Bryant with a couple of first downs, and one was a slant, just catching the ball with his hands, and then one was like an option route where he took the quick out option and just turned the ball upfield. That would be one of my helmet stickers just from the offensive perspective. I think over time, this kid will continue to make plays. Every time that he's had the ball thrown to him pretty much throughout this year, he has caught the ball. He catches the ball very strong and with his hands. And I think the Broncos need to find an intermediate passing game, a passing game where you can take these quick outs or these hook routes. We've yet to see like a 10-yard hook route executed. And these are the things that, Devon Vele last year was doing when he was catching the ball. But Pat Bryant, I think, is going to take and will continue to make strides in this offense. And I think he has a unique skill set with just the way that he plays and releases at the line of scrimmage. So, yeah, two catches for 22 yards isn't a great stat. But I think, we got to question the night we did the live show about, these rookies coming along and, they were asking about Pat Bryant, but I think he's going to continue to make plays, and he's somebody that I'm really excited to continue to see. So that would be one of my first helmet stickers is to go to Pat Bryant.
Real quick, just on that slant, I think it was a third down, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And he looked like a very serious receiver on that play.
Yeah.
Benny, we had a conversation shortly after we first met, or I should say when we first started working together here, about ball skills. We were talking about Travis Hunter, but I asked you at the time, like, what does ball skills mean to you? And I believe you said running through the ball.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I had never heard anyone describe it that way. But that play was such a perfect example of someone running through the ball. There was no deceleration, no anything for him to catch that ball. It was so smooth, so in rhythm. And the way that he got out of that break and got himself wide open, showed his chest to Bo and just was able to do that. I was like, man, that looks like a wide receiver one there, not a rookie who's getting probably still a single-digit catch for him in the NFL.
Yeah, Brian, you bring up a really good point. Some of the best receivers that I played with, yes, they do run through the ball. They don't slow down to catch the ball or slow down or catch the ball and fall down. Pat runs through the ball, whether it's a dig route, whether it's a slant, whether it was the out route that he caught today, and he was able to turn it upfield for a first down. And you could just show how comfortable he is with catching the ball. And yeah, I would love to see him get some more targets. And I think he's starting to play and be out there a lot more. But he's quite impressive to me. He can't do the false starts though. You can't do that. You can't have these drive stallers and. I feel like he's had a couple of penalties this year, but he's got to take that away.
I agree.
Go ahead, Henry.
Tauno Funga.
Yeah.
Gotta get that out there. It's so crazy to look and it says 5 tackles. He feels like he has like 20.
I feel like he's in on every play.
Every single one of them. I guess there's even plays like, I can't remember if it was a run or a pass, but he gets into the backfield, hits the guy, doesn't bring him down on the boundary, and tackle's broken. But it means that somebody else tackles him at the line of scrimmage instead of Ufunga making the tackle 2 yards behind the line of scrimmage. Like, even when things don't go well, he's just so explosive that good things always happen. He's always around the ball. Such a physical presence and an incredible football player who they're putting in positions to just be an absolute weapon.
Absolutely. He had a big pass breakup on the sideline, correct?
He did.
Yeah, he had a big pass breakup on the sideline and a sack. I think he brings the energy every single game, and I think he's a huge part of this defense. And I love the fact that he is one of the free agent signings that has worked out from game one.
Yep, right.
He has literally worked out every single game. You see him all over the field. He brings the energy. He's making plays, and I think he'll continue to thrive. I think he had a little wrist injury, but ended up coming back. But, yeah, he balled out today.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that pass breakup, I mean, almost you could call it game-winning. because that was on third down. And I would like to think that if they're able to complete that, was it for a first down? It was hard to see from my view.
I couldn't tell.
Yeah. It was near the sticks. Either way, I think it was 3rd and 7. And if you get 6 there, that takes it from 62 yards to 56 yards. You have a chance to kick a game-winning field goal there. So great PBU. Of course, I got to start with John Cooper. 2 sacks, 1 tackle for loss, 5 total tackles in the game. Another guy who just felt like he was everywhere, just in the backfield, causing havoc all day long.
Yeah, I mean, it's incredible. There's something about Jonathon Cooper having a good game that always just gets me going. Because Bonitto is always going to be coming off that edge. Like, he's gonna do great things. And Coop just gets forgotten about. Everybody's talking about Bonitto. Nobody talks about Jonathon Cooper. And it's been that way for, this is year 5 for him, I believe, in the NFL now. And he's been a good player. I mean, he had 10 sacks last year. Nobody had 10 sacks in Denver in 3-4 years before that. But because Bonitto has the big numbers, everybody looks over there. So when you have a guy like that who is one of the better run defenders on the edge, and he's giving you 2 sacks, that's an incredibly valuable player to have.
Best pass rushing duo in the league?
It's right there.
I mean, it is the best pass rush in the league. Like, if you went big picture, right? They come in with a 4-sack lead. They're up 21 to 17. Whoever's in second place, 9 today.
Now they have 30.
It's the pass rush as a whole is so much better that if this isn't the best duo, it's got to be close. I mean, the numbers are the numbers.
This pass rush is averaging 5 sacks a game.
Yeah,
That's crazy to think about.
It is.
I want to say that in the first, I think this was just Vaughn and Bradley Chubb. The first 4 games of the Vic Fangio era had 0 total combined.
Wow. That's a Hall of Famer right there. One of those guys is a Hall of Famer.
Yeah. I mean, we're talking about this team averaging 5 sacks per game.
An 85 sack pace. NFL record is 72, done by the 1984 Bears. They also got a bunch in 1985. So if the Broncos can get to 74 sacks, they'll have the most sacks ever in a 2-year span. Obviously 73, and they get the most ever there. And they're on pace for 85.
Should we give a helmet sticker to Vance Joseph? I know you're getting ready to go.
Yeah.
No, go ahead.
Again, it has to be a headset sticker, but
Yeah, headset sticker to Vance Joseph because
Look right here.
I
hope
think
he starts
these guys are fresh too. Bonitto and
Oh,
Cooper, they're taking. I'm not saying they're taking plays off, but they're switching series and going in at different times, and then obviously obvious pass down situations and third downs. Nick Bonitto and Jonathon Cooper are coming back in, but I think they are able to play fresh, and if you can have them out there for 45 plays where they can go 100% instead of 65 plays where it's sometimes it's 80, 70% because they could be a little tired. I think Vance Joseph has done an incredible job, especially these last 2 weeks where you have dynamic quarterbacks who can run. But this defense has been really disciplined with their rush lanes.
right.
They've been disciplined in coverage. And I think they've played extremely well. And I think, headset sticker to Vance Joseph with just the way that he's calling, the way that he's adjusting to different personnels, the quarterbacks that they're playing. I think Vance Joseph has done a really good job of keeping these guys fresh. So shout out to Vance Joseph and what he's done because he is right now, leading and helping getting these wins as much as the players are.
Absolutely. I mean, it's another incredible game. There have been a couple moments this season where we've been a little bit disappointed in the defense, schematically in particular. But those are rare. Those are very rare. And the sacks, those are things he's drawing up. Like, maybe not all of them, maybe not even half of them. But there are so many where he's just, the simulated pressure, we're sending an extra guy off this side, and that means we're dropping a guy off here. And he's just making the defense look stupid. We all saw the clip of Bonitto and Cooper both getting home. I can't remember the quarterback a couple weeks ago. Yeah, that's the one. Yeah. That is the one. When they quadruple teamed Zach Allen, and Zach Allen, good player. That wasn't intentional. That was, we're dropping these guys out. leaving the one-on-ones. Vance Joseph manufactures those one-on-ones, and they win.
Yep. He's doing a really good job.
I got to give a helmet sticker to the player who I believe is most responsible for the Denver Broncos winning a football game today, and that would be Justin Fields.
Hey, there we go.
Justin Fields finishes the game 9 of 17 for 45 yards, an average of 2.6 yards per completion. He takes 9 sacks for 55 yards and finishes with a remarkable 8.8 QBR. Thank you, Justin, for your contributions to the Denver Broncos being 4-2.
Time to play running back? Is it time to put that arm away and see if there's anything in the legs?
I think he has wide receiver size.
He does have the size. I don't know if he has the
size.
hands.
Yeah, he
little
does
Terrell
have
Pryor action.
He does have, he's a bigger guy. I couldn't see when I was watching the game like why he was having a hard time reading the defenses. I mean, there were times where he was just super late on throws. He wasn't accurate at all. He was throwing missile balls at at the receivers who were running at him. It wasn't a good performance by Justin at all. And who's the offense coordinator over there? He didn't do a great job of scheming anything up over there either.
There was a couple times where they went to some designed quarterback runs or reads, and I was like, oh, that's good. That's kind of giving us trouble. We're gonna have to deal with that the rest of the game, and then we just didn't.
Yeah. No, there was nothing to worry about. It's great. We talked about the 3 and outs for the Broncos, but the drive chart for the Jets is insane. 3-yard drive, 1-yard drive, 5-yard drive, -8 yard drive, and then they get the field goal before half. Oh no, they didn't get the field goal. They only got to the middle of the field, 31 yards.
Clock run out.
Right. They got the field goal after half, 37 yards, and then 13 yards, -3 yards, -4 yards, 20 yards, -7 yards, 1 yard. How they have what?
You think somebody's getting fired tomorrow?
Gee, I mean, you have to, right? Something has to change.
Yeah.
And
Broncos might have to fire someone.
You think so? Wow.
I'm kidding.
Yeah. Don't let that get clipped.
I just typed Justin Fields' names into Twitter to see what people are saying about him. This one got me good. It says, next gen stat, Justin Fields is the first quarterback in the modern era to suck this bad every time he plays. It's so insane.
Yeah.
Went kind of viral on that
I
one.
should tweet Justin Fields. It's time to learn Canadian.
Oh, yeah. Wow. So, yeah, that was hard to watch.
Yeah.
All right. Any other helmet stickers that you guys feel we need to hit?
I can get a couple real quick. Ini Uzurike.
Yeah.
The sack, so much production in the middle of the trenches. I'd have to check the numbers. Really feels like his role is growing week by week. And for a young guy as talented as he is, young being 27, but he got kicked out of the league for that year, so he plays a little bit younger. There's something kind of exciting going on there, I think.
All right.
Yeah. Jaquan, too.
And Jaquan.
And Malcolm.
And shout out to Malcolm for being back out there. And Q Robinson.
And Riley Moss.
Some
of those tackles. Again,
Riley
nobody
was
cares.
all over the field, yeah. He was all over the field today.
Yes.
No one says anything when he plays well.
It was fun to watch Alex Singleton laughing as he left the field when the Jets decided just to run out the clock at halftime. Because the whole time he's getting everybody fired up, like they're actually running the clock out, and then he comes down the tunnel, he's just laughing.
That was insane.
It's an insane. You have to feel so terrible about your offense to not try to do anything. So the last play they ran set up, I guess it set up the 4th and 1, which meant you could throw the Hail Mary.
Yep.
And they decided, no, we're not going to do that.
What goes through your mind? Like, you think that there's a higher chance of the Broncos getting a strip sack fumble to the house than you have of just getting the ball to the end zone?
Well, again, we don't know about strip sacks fumbles to the house, but we do know equally likely to have a sack as a completion. And none of those completions were 60-yard touchdowns, 50-yard touchdowns. So if you say that that's about as likely as the strip sack fumble, I mean,
Yeah.
50-50.
Maybe Aaron Glenn actually a genius for that play.
Yeah, I wouldn't go that far. Don't let that one get clipped either.
All right, let's give a quick shout out to our friends over at Coors Light. Just such a good beer, such a great game day beer, and it's perfect for every game day because it's good for the good times and the bad times and the confusing times like today. You know, you're confused. Mm-hmm. Should I be happy about that win? Should I be mad that the Broncos looked that bad? I don't know. Let me just drink a Coors Light and think about it. And it's just great for everyone. So when you're looking for times to chill, when you're looking for times to celebrate, when you're looking for times to reflect, have yourself a nice cold Coors Light. And remember that it's cold lagered, cold filtered, cold brewed, so that it's as cold as the Colorado Rockies, the mountains, or the baseball team.
Okay. We don't need to do that. Also, shout out to... Oh, there's more?
Celebrate responsibly. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado Beer. And head to CoorsLight.com/DNVR to get it delivered straight to your door.
And shout out to Dick's Sporting Goods. I love Dick's. I mean, there's nothing better than that place. I think it's a... Yeah, there we go.
Don't let that get clipped.
Don't let it get clipped. These were white shoes, but we've really lived hard in them. That's somebody's beer on my foot.
Yeah, I noticed that when we were in the elevator.
Actually, I thought that I was buying Hoka's. And so I really wanted Nike shoes. I always wear the Nike shoes, but they have a good one. So I was like, oh, I'll buy these Hoka's with the little thing. Turns out that is not the Hoka logo.
Yeah. It's
the On Cloud, I believe, logo. But you can get all sorts of different brands, like Nike. I have, these Nike socks are from there. FP Movement, Burst, Calia, DNVR.
Yep.
Yeah. Everything you could want is at Dick's. So go check them out. Plus, you can score the latest equipment for baseball, soccer, football, basketball, golf. Get your gear fast with free curbside pickup at your nearest store or easy shipping from Dix.com because every season starts at Dix.
All right, we're going to have Zac Stevens chiming in from the stadium here in just a few minutes. Before we get that, I just want a quick Bo Nix temperature check on just kind of how you're feeling about the way that he looked today. Because it should be noted that he had 4.5 times the QBR of his counterpart today.
Right.
The problem was his counterpart was Justin Fields. So, how did you feel about just the way Bo looked out there?
I'm not higher or lower on Bo and what I saw today. I thought he had some times where he made some quick throws and some on-time throws, and I had some times where it was pressure in his face, and then some times where he just misread some things. So, he was 19 for 30. So it's not crazy bad. Of course, you want to look better and play better, but yeah, I don't know how to necessarily feel about it's the way I feel about the game. I don't know how to feel about it. You won the game. That's a positive. Bo didn't turn the ball over. That's a positive. I thought he made some good plays, but I'm just, I'm lukewarm on how he played. And, nothing really stands out about wow, that was an elite throw today, or that was elite quarterback play today. But nothing says what we saw from the other side, where it's all right, this isn't the guy. So that's how I feel about it.
Yeah, it's tough. We didn't get to watch a lot of the morning games, but then you see a tweet like, oh my goodness, Drake May in midair, how does he make that throw? And you're just like, oh, that must be kind of fun if you're a Patriots fan. You want to see the flashes. You want to see a lot of flashes, because the best quarterbacks, Josh Allen's going to give you 8 of them a game. You're just like, wait, oh my goodness.
New Orleans Mardi Gras amount of flashes.
Right. Apparently we got flashed on the boat yesterday.
Did we?
That's a rumor going around from the crew.
Missed it.
Real shame. But yeah, so
I was like, what?
Yeah, yeah, maybe it was Yaya. I think to not have a single flash in an entire game is a little bit disheartening. But again, I'm not worried about it. Biggest takeaway from this game is it's just such a weird one. I'm not going to be too concerned. There's some good throws, no great throws. Some bad throws, no terrible throws. I think the deep ball early on was disappointing
The one to Mims?
Yeah, let him inside where there was help. There was no way that was going to be completed.
Yeah.
You got to put that one out on the boundary. I'm not up in arms about it, though.
Yeah. When the Broncos were 1-2, I was kind of saying, like, hey, everyone calm down. There's a lot of positive things, and I think it's going to pay off soon. I just don't. I hope I'm not feeling after the Giants game like, we saw a lot of negative things, and now they're rearing their ugly heads.
Right.
So I'm going to say I'll set this tape aside. Depending on how the Broncos play next week, I might bring it back. I'm not throwing it away, but I will wait to watch it at least for a week. Not literally, but figuratively set it aside. It's not a problem unless some of this stuff continues. But you're right. 0 flashes in a whole football game from a young quarterback was tough.
But
he trucked somebody.
He did truck a guy.
He trucked somebody.
He did.
He trucked somebody on the QB run. There was a short QB run. I don't know if it was a 4th or 3rd down, but he did truck somebody. So there was one flash.
There was that.
All right.
And he was a lot better than Justin Fields.
Whenever we need to see flashes, we hit up our guy Zac Stevens.
Right.
And we can't see him right now. So, unfortunately, Zach, don't flash us because we won't even be able to see it if you do. What's going on?
Hey, fellas, I'm standing outside the stadium. They just kicked everyone out, so I don't get a cool view of the stadium. But I want to ask you guys, how are the vibes in Broncos country right now? I've just been writing, so I don't really know how the fans are feeling.
It's a mix of a win is a win. There's that, style of person, and there's another style of person who is, quite frankly, offended by the football game that they had to watch.
Yeah, I mean, it was as ugly as a football game as you can watch. It reminded me so much of the Broncos-Jets game last year, where it ended in a 10-9 win for the Broncos, came down to a last-second field goal. The difference is that game was played in really, really, really bad conditions. Today's game was about as good of conditions as you can have, and the defense took advantage of it. And, guys, you'll be shocked to hear this, but I'm coming away from this game with a positive mindset. I'm feeling good about the Broncos. Obviously, we'll talk about the offense, and there's things that have to be cleaned up and fixed because that was brutal. But the defense, guys, this is why I'm okay with this game. Number one, the Broncos got to win, and the vibe in the locker room and talking to players was kind of like we won. It just kind of reminding everyone like we won. Now the offense certainly not celebrating, but the offense is thrilled for what the defense did today. Now, it can't be like it has been for much of the last 10 years where the offense is relying on the defense to do this game in and game out, season in and season out. This has to be an anomaly because you can't win games consistently when you score 13 points. That's just not acceptable. But guys, let's talk about this defensive performance because it was historical. There are so many things that you can point to that just either have never been done or haven't been done in 20 years or 30 years or 40 years. Let's just start with the 82 yards that the Broncos gave up. In the past 50-plus years, the Broncos have allowed under 100 yards just 5 times, and this was one of them. They've done it actually twice this calendar year. The other one was against the Chiefs in Week 18, but the Chiefs weren't playing their starters, so that's like okay, well that one maybe not as impressive. This one, the Jets
those were the Jets starters.
Exactly, those were the Jets starters. As see, Benny, they're starters. I'm giving you that credit there. They're not starters because they were disastrous. So the 82 yards, historical. 9 sacks. That hasn't happened by the Broncos since, I believe, 1996. It definitely hasn't happened since 2000. So that is insane right there. The Broncos did not allow the Jets in the red zone. Think about that. The Jets did not take a single red zone snap in this game. Just absolutely insane. 8 different guys had sacks here. Just an incredible, incredible performance by this Broncos defense.
Zach, what did Coach Sean Payton say in his press conference?
Well, he talked and talked and talked and talked. He had a 30-minute press conference after this game, and so that kind of shows you the mood that he was in. Not pleased with his offense, by any means. He just kept saying, I got to review the film. I got to review the film. So he didn't really get into specifics. Bo Nix did get into specifics about the offense. The one thing that he really pointed to was we just had absolutely no rhythm. And it's clear what Bo Nix needs. Maybe not for his entire career, but for what Bo Nix needs right now. He needs tempo. He needs to get into a rhythm. He needs no huddle. Now, I know you can't do that 100% of a game, every single game for an entire season. But they need to do it more because they did it a little bit in the first quarter. And look, Bo was great. 11 of 13, 101 passing yards. He had 11 rushing yards as well. Had that touchdown. It looked like the Broncos were just going to cruise by the Jets in this game. And then everything stopped because they got out of tempo. They got out of rhythm. And that was the thing that Bo pointed to. And guys, it was disastrous. I mean, six straight drives where the opposing defense scores more than your offense. They had 2 points compared to the Broncos, 0 points with their defensive performance by the Jets with getting that safety. Bo Nix has 0 completions in the second half until 10 minutes left in the fourth quarter. It was comically bad. It was a game that the offense had no business winning, but because the defense was so good. And so that was kind of the vibe in the locker room after, and specifically from Sean, was, man, hats off to the defense. Bo said it was impossible what they did today, the defense. So it was all credit to the defense, and not panic or worry about the offense, but we got to get this cleaned up because the Broncos offense also did not look good for 3 quarters last week in their game and then turned it on in the fourth quarter. You can rarely do that and have success. That's what makes the Broncos 3 straight wins really impressive, specifically the last 2. They have not played complete games on both sides of the ball in these games, yet they're 3-0 in the past 3 games with a terrible, terrible schedule in terms of playing Monday night on a short week, then going to Philadelphia, then coming to London. So the fact that they're 3-0 after that, and Pat Surtain pointing that out after the game, is truly very, very impressive. And as coaches always like to say, you like to fix mistakes after a win instead of a loss.
Zach, you were obviously there last week after the Broncos beat the Eagles. I'm just curious how you would compare kind of the post-game vibes, the attitude of the locker room from last week to this week, which, you know, we say a win's a win. Both of them were wins, but I have to imagine they were quite different.
Oh, they were very, very different. Ryan, your voice reminds me of how the locker room was last week after the win. Just so much hooting and hollering. Guys are probably losing their voices because of the parties and celebrations that happened in the locker room. Whereas there was no like hooting and hollering and screaming. Last week, literally the door was shaking inside the Broncos locker room because of how Club Dub was popping. I did not hear Club Dub, and we were pretty close to the locker room. So I'm not saying it didn't happen, but like, it was very, very different. And it kind of felt like everyone kind of had to remind themselves, especially on the offensive side, like, oh, yeah, we did win. We did win. So they are enjoying it, and specifically this defense. And, guys, I can't tell you how the offense just like, as they should have, just praised the defense over and over and over again. And the defensive guys, pretty darn happy. I asked Nick Bonitto, I said, oh, the negative 10 passing yards. How have I not brought that up yet? That is absolutely insane. Especially when you think about it this way, the Jets had more passing yards before the game started than when the game ended. And we're talking about the easiest stat that you can get in football is passing yards. Like, I'm sure someone's going to have a 350-yard day today. The Jets had negative 10, which is just insane. And so I asked Nick, have you ever been part of a game where there's been negative 10 passing yards? And he just starts laughing. And he's like, no, that's so funny, which his exact words. And it's silly what the Broncos defense did today. They made life a living hell for Justin Fields. And man, I felt bad for him because like Justin Fields could do nothing. And then you could tell midway through the game, he was so in his head. He was seeing ghosts. And then he was being hit by Jonathon Cooper. 8 different guys had a sack. That is crazy. Like, that's impressive if 8 guys have a catch in a single game from one team. 8 guys with a sack? Come on now.
That's incredible. Zach, did Sean talk about their travel plans? Are they traveling back tonight? And then also, how are they going to recover just coming from, being on the road for such a long time?
Yeah, it's a great question, Benny. And they are traveling back tonight. So they'll actually be in Denver on Sunday, which is kind of crazy to think, but with that time change there. So they did not even go back to the hotel. They just went straight to the airport and are taken off. And then this week, so I mentioned how they had the short week on Monday, then they had to go to Philly, then they had to go to London after Philly, and there was a lot of moving parts there and how difficult that was to manage. Sean actually said the toughest week for the players in terms of their bodies and readjusting isn't any of that. It's this coming week. So to your point, Benny, this is the important week, according to Sean and his sleep experts and everyone he has on staff that deals with players' bodies. It's this coming week. So I wouldn't be surprised if Wednesday's an easier practice, a lighter practice, more of a walkthrough, and then they're back in it on Thursday and Friday. The players will have Tuesday off. I'm not sure what tomorrow is going to look like. I do know that media has been canceled for tomorrow, so there won't be any pressers there. But this is the week, and this is also kind of what'd you call it, the diaper changing week?
Yep.
Ryan?
Yep.
This is one where you kind of gotta... he's not saying this, but he's leading on like, if there's a trap game, it wasn't today, although it was for the offense. It's this coming week because of how the travel's going to be.
Yeah, I mean, diaper change game, travel game. There's a lot at stake there. One, I would like to borrow one of Sean's sleep specialists for this week. And two, did anyone, Zach, apologize to the great people of the United Kingdom for the product that was put on the field by the National Football League today?
Yeah, pretty brutal. And I'll tell you how Sean made up for it. He had that 30-minute press conference where he answered every single national or international reporter's questions to try to probably get them on their good side after having to witness that offensive performance, which certainly was not enjoyable. And speaking of the international, boy, did Tottenham put on a show. And what was it, just an incredible atmosphere. And guys, that really got me thinking, being around here, obviously the fans made it special, but this is why the Broncos are building a new stadium. Yes, their current stadium is totally fine. Don't need a new one, but you can take it up 10 notches, and that's exactly what the Broncos are going to do. So shout out to London, shout out to all the fans that were out here and so many of the ones we met, because this was a really, really cool environment.
Shout out to you, Zach.
Shout out to you, Zach. All right.
Shout out to you guys. Wait, really quick. Just want to share one moment that happened during the press conferences. So Nick Bonitto is Pat Surtain's walking off the podium. Nick Bonitto is getting on the podium, and Pat says, "Depoy for Defensive Player of the Year," because that is what Nick Bonitto is looking at, guys. He's on pace to still break Michael Strahan's sack record of 22.5. He's on pace for 22.67, so just on pace to break that right now. Yeah, a little 6'7" there. I see what you're doing. Shout out to Nick for that sack celebration too. That's who Nick Bonitto is right now. And the cool thing is Jonathon Cooper played even better than him today, potentially. And that just shows how freaking good this defense is. And one more thing from the podium. Shout out to, I don't remember who pointed this out after, so shout out to just everyone in Broncos media. But Sean Payton directly talked about Vance Joseph and used his name today after the game. That's how you know that Vance had a hell of a game, is when Sean is giving him a call out, because he doesn't do that often. So shout out to Vance for a hell of a game too. Justin Strnad had 1.5 sacks in this game. Jonathon Cooper led the team with 2. And man, this defense, you win Super Bowls with a defense that plays like this.
Shout out to you, Zach. Appreciate you for chiming in and giving us the scoop. And get back to the hotel safely.
All right. See you, fellas. Go check
All right,
out DNVR.com. I got a couple of stories already up there right now.
There you go. Zac Stevens, hardest working man in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Let's hit one last break here, Henry. And then we will get to the Toyota chat. So, quickly, shout out to our friends, speaking of the Toyota chat, over at Toyota. Toyota is the official vehicle of DNVR. And as much as I like riding the tube, I I am looking forward to getting back to my Toyota when I get back to Colorado next week because it's just such a smooth ride. I'm also looking forward to steering wheels being on the left side. Another thing that I won't see for the next week while I'm in Scotland. But Toyota's the best car on the road, and I will be a Toyota guy for the rest of my life because of how good these cars are. You can check out the new 2025 Tacoma or the return of the iconic 2025 Land Cruiser, which really has my eye after I've been eyeing 4Runners for a long time. Toyota offers 17 models with available all-wheel drive or four-wheel drive, like that epic 4Runner that I was just talking about. So, if you're looking for a new Toyota, visit a Front Range Toyota store at a location near you. AutoNation Toyota, Arapahoe and Centennial, Corbin Toyota in Boulder, Groove Toyota in Littleton, Mountain States Toyota in Denver, Stevenson Toyota East in Aurora, and Stevenson Toyota West in Lakewood. Toyota is the official automotive partner of the NFL and the official vehicle of DNVR. Let's go places.
And shout out to Volo Sports. Volo Sports is awesome. I don't know if Volo is international. No, Brian's saying not international.
Not yet, no.
Okay. Well, but for now, if you're in Denver or a lot of different places in the United States, Volo can be your option to play some sports, whether you want to play some soccer, volleyball, pickleball, kickball. Kickball's a fun game for those of us who aren't, big athletes. Just go, you kick the ball, you run a little bit. It's no big deal. You can meet new people, you can make friends, you can be social, you can stay or get more active in a fun way. Mix up your after-work routine. You can play in Lodo, Rhino, Highlands, City Park, Cherry Creek, South Broadway, and more. Players can sign up as a free agent, small group, or full team, and all ability levels and backgrounds are welcome to join. Use code DNVR10 for $10 off any Volo Denver League.
All right, let's do it and get to super chats here from the Toyota chat. Yaya, you're going to have to...
I'll read them all out and then you guys can say them.
Okay. Don't read them out loud too loud because then people might have to hear them twice, but I have no idea if they'll hear you.
Hello.
Who's it from?
This is from Broker Maveti.
Okay.
Next 5 games, we're at home. They got 3 of 5 on the road. Very important stretch, and we need to take advantage of the next 5. LFB.
Yes, it's 100% right. But this week's game, the Giants game, is concerning me more and more by the minute.
So wait, the question was talking about the schedule, or I guess more of a statement. And they said, what's the home stretch here?
Next 5 games, 4 at home.
Okay.
Gotta take advantage.
Okay.
Next 5 games, there's 4 at home.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, you got to take advantage of those. But the Giants game is not going to be. I bet when you look at the beginning of the season, you think the Giants is going to be an easy win. Definitely won't be an easy win, and they got a crazy pass rush as well.
Mm-hmm. Like I said, Giants. So the Broncos coming back, the sleep stuff, all that. Giants played Thursday night football.
Yeah.
So they get a couple extra rest days on top of everything.
All right. What's the next one?
Next one is Blake Warner.
You can go louder.
Okay. Supermax defense, Florence, Colorado prison.
The Supermax defense. I think that's the best nickname anybody submitted so far.
What is that?
You know
It's like
the
a
Supermax prison? Oh my goodness, you're gonna go down this rabbit hole tonight. So there's a federal prison in Florence, Colorado.
No one's ever heard of Florence, Colorado.
It's actually a lie. It's very famous.
No, it's the most famous.
Because of the prison.
Yes, no, because everybody's in there. Like the Unabomber's in there.
Yeah, I've heard of that.
All of like the most horrible people are in that prison. You get to say about like there's like the guys who play in 9/11 are in there. Like everybody's in there.
Supermax defense.
Supermax defense.
Goes kind of hard.
It does go kind of hard.
You want to compare your defense to a bunch of bad people?
Well, no, it's not. You're
It's
not
more
comparing
so
them.
You're locking them down.
Yeah, you're putting the opponents in a Supermax prison.
Because Justin Fields is a terrorist.
That's crazy.
I know. I'm sorry.
That's crazy.
I'm sorry. But look what he did to the sport of football today.
Yeah, it was an
Put him in the
international crime.
Put him in the Supermax.
That's all we got. Okay. Well, we can finish off here with some final takeaways, with some, I don't know, set the mood for the next week here, Henry, about just kind of the way that you're feeling about the current state of the Broncos at 4-2.
I think 4-2 is there's a list of things that matter for football teams, and number one is your record. And if you're 4-2, you're in a great spot. I'm not sure where all the standings fall today. It's so weird watching afternoon football at night right now. But 4-2 is a good spot to be, and you have plenty of opportunity. It means you don't have to be perfect the rest of the way. You would love to just get hot, win a bunch of games, get the 1 seed, all that. If you blow a game or two, you're going to be just fine. Like you have the room when you're 4-2 to make a mistake here or there. And I think that's, to me, what is most important.
Yeah, I think getting the wins is definitely the most important thing. I think being 4-2 has got to feel really good. Also, this is a really good week, and this is going to be a really special week too. Got alumni weekend. We got my Super Bowl team reunion. We got Demarius going into the Ring of Fame. So it's going to be, I think it's going to be a really positive week. That's putting out positive vibes.
Yeah, I think if you told me before the season the Broncos would be 4-2, my voice is really just tapping out right now. Sorry. If you told me before the season that the Broncos would be 4-2 through 6 weeks, I would take it, and I think I would take it even more eagerly if you told me that they would have a win over the Eagles and that they would win in London. And so, as far as 4-2s go, this is one of the better 4-2s that were out there for you.
Right.
The one thing you would probably edit, if you could, is you would like to get the Chargers game back, because you even though you're both 4-2 now, you sit behind them in the division. So what?
Camera just died.
Oh, okay, our camera died. That's just kind of the way things are going. Yaya has thrown in the towel. He's not even going to mess with it.
We got like 2 minutes left.
Yeah, see what I said? It's all good. So, anyways, we're going to wrap it up here. I will say, though.
Whoa, Ryan, what are you doing?
What?
Get away from me.
Oh, my God.
Brian's coming after me right now. Oh, I can't believe you guys can't see this.
Oh, we need to get out of here.
Yeah, we do.
Anyways, solid 4-2 as far as 4-2s go. And I'm looking forward to next week. I hope that this team can really put out a real offensive performance that allows me to take this tape and throw it away.
I would love to throw this one away. There are a lot of things that I would throw away from this week. A lot of good things too, but there's a list of throwaways.
There's a couple throwaways out there. One last time, I do have to say this again, man. Cannot thank you all enough for the fans over here from Europe, from the UK, from all over the world, honestly, who come to this game when the Broncos are out here and show the love to us. A special shout out to everyone who came to our live show on Friday night. One of the cooler things that I think we've got to do here. And we love you guys. We can't thank you enough for all the support. And if it weren't for you, we wouldn't get to do cool stuff like traveling together as a squad to another country and get to experience some of the stuff that we got to experience together this week. So thank you guys so much. Thank you, Benny. Thank you, Henry. Thank you, Yaya, and the rest of the squad that we had out here. Of course, Zach. Awesome week. And it's fitting, given the energy levels that we have, that the camera has also tapped out.
Yeah.
So we're going to tap out right now. This has been the DNVR Broncos post-game show presented by Bet365. We'll see you guys soon.
Cheers.
We all silly like the mayor.